What's going on, guys? My name is Orphan. Hope you guys are having just a swell day. Now, before we get into this video, I want to give a quick shout out to a YouTuber named Dantix. He makes Anthem content, and he's been doing a ton of coverage on pre-release information, news about the game, and he has a really well put together channel dedicated to Anthem if you are interested in the game. So I'm going to drop his link in the description, and if you are interested in Anthem at all, I highly encourage you to go check it out because his videos has got me increasingly more hyped for Anthem over these last 2 weeks. So go check them out, please. So in this video, I'm going to go into a bit more detail myself of a few of the systems that excite me the most. Let's begin, boys. So first off, the loot system, which for me is arguably the most important, right? There's going to be a rarity system, similar to your Borderlands, your Diablos, ranging from commons to uncommon, rare, epic, masterwork, and legendary. The legendary and masterwork gear is going to be your cream of the crop, right? And they're going to offer bonus tweaks to existing abilities, so just all-around enhancements to gameplay. For example, the Ranger Javelin has an ability called Blast Missile, which on its own is just a high damage explosive ability. There's an augment for that ability called Argo's Mace, which augments it to add an electrical effect when killing enemies with it. See, I love those kinds of mechanics in loot games, which is why I love Diablo 3 so much. I've put countless hours into that game, and I'm hoping I can do the same thing with Anthem. When you complete missions, you'll get loot that's unveiled at the end screen. Now, in a couple of videos, I came across people saying that BioWare went with this route because they wanted to minimize the time that you and your fellow teammates were spending looking for items, and more time to actually complete the missions and enjoy the game. And of course, tougher missions and contracts are going to give you better loot. Simple gameplay loop. It's all about that end game, boys. All about the end game. So far, the difficulties are your standard easy, medium, and hard modes, but there is a Grandmaster 1, 2, and 3 respectively that come after hard mode, with the final one recommending legendary gear in every single slot. So it's looking like you will have a challenge if you want one, and more chances at that sweet loot. So some Javelin specific abilities. I'm going to put up a chart on screen that shows all the abilities for each of the 4 Javelins, but essentially each class will have 2 abilities, a support slot, 6 mod slots, and their ultimate ability. This is the part that gets me really excited about the game. Now, as I told you guys in that Dragon Age video, I love mage characters, so I'm going straight to that Storm Javelin. He's going to be more focused on using elemental abilities and area of effect abilities. He's also be able to hover longer and have better shields than the other javelins, so your survivability is going to depend on staying at a safe range, being out of the line of sight of enemies, and just overall playing into that theme of being a glass cannon. Now on this chart, you're going to be able to see the different elemental effects and the different damage types. Some abilities are going to be primers, while some is going to be detonators. There's a fire priming effect, which will light enemies on fire, causing them to take damage over time. There's going to be a frost priming effect that freezes and slows enemies. Good for CC. There's going to be an electrical prime effect that spreads damage to nearby enemies, and there's going to be an acid primer, which so far might be my favorite. It's going to make enemies more susceptible to all incoming damage. It's a straight debuff. Detonators will detonate these abilities, giving each javelin a unique effect based on which one detonated it. So the Ranger is going to do just a huge amount of bonus damage to the detonated target, so he's going to be your single target damage dealer. The Colossus is going to do a large damage in area, so he's going to be more AoE focused. Its combos are going to be more trying to deal damage to a much bigger group. The Storm is going to spread the initial priming effect to enemies in the area, so if they were primed with fire and the Storm detonates, he'll spread fire to everyone around them. And the Interceptor is going to get an aura matching the priming effect. So for her, say the enemy was afflicted with frost, if she detonates, then she's going to get a frost aura. Being that she's a melee character, it's going to help her a lot because you're always close to enemies. These all sound cool as hell, and I can't fucking wait to play around with all these abilities and just testing out which builds are gonna feel the best. I'm gonna take a look at some of the Storm abilities in depth in this video, since that's the class I'm most interested in. So as the Elemental class, the Storm has quite a bit of primers and detonators in this kit, making it so that you can set up your own combos and be this crazy death dealing, status inflicting badass. In each one of the main ability slots, you'll be able to pick one of the abilities so you can experiment and find what feels best for you, what's better for your gameplay loop. His ultimate ability serves as a primer and a detonator that just unleashes multiple elements all across the battlefield. You can imagine that once you or your teammates get a primer going, you'll just be setting enemies up left and right for massive AoE damage. His class is the only class without an acid-based ability, so that makes me kinda sad, and it encourages teamwork. A few of the other abilities that look really cool to me are the Interceptor's Acid Bomb, the Colossus's Lightning Coil, and the Ranger's Frost Grenade. After seeing all these abilities and even more gameplay, I can't wait for that beta on February 1st, and ultimately for the game to come out on the 22nd. The game looks really cool, and as I stated, in these past 2 weeks, I've just been getting increasingly more hype with every piece of new footage I've seen and every piece of new information that's came out about the game. If you guys are interested in Anthem, definitely let me know by dropping a comment, and be sure to check out Dentix's channel. I'm going to link it in the description. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Until next time.